Welcome back to NBA Today. All right, we're going to dig into another big trade that happened today. Kristaps Porzingis and Spencer Dinwiddie. Flip-flop. Wilbon, what do you think?
You know what? I remember all summer, at the end of the summer, after the Wizards had, gotten all these pieces, including Montrezl Harrell. And I thought, wow, it's a lot of pieces, but the Wizards ought to be a playoff team. They ought to be a lot better. As soon as they figure out how to use these things, and they're trusting that to a rookie coach, a Magic name in this town where I sit now in Washington, D.C., when you say the name Unseld and coaching. And they got off to a 10-3 start. And then since then, the Wizards have done nothing, literally, but just sort of implode. And I don't know what Porzingis does. It's another piece. But is it just a piece that's floating out there like Bradley Beal? Where is he going to be? Is he going to re-sign? Is he going to be the centerpiece of the Washington Wizards still? And can he play with Porzingis? Or are they going to have another bunch of moves, one that doesn't necessarily relate to the other, and just go in with a roster that looks good from afar but doesn't make sense on the court? I don't know. Seriously, if anybody in the group can tell me they know definitively what the Wizards are doing, I will applaud, because I thought I knew. I'm sure they thought they knew, and now we have no idea.
Well, Richard, if you are Bradley Beal, how are you evaluating this?
I have no idea what Bradley Beal has been thinking over these. I understand, get your money, young man, but I think Bradley Beal, as an all-star, was one of the leading scorers in the league the last few years. What he's capable of doing is impactful. I don't think he wants to leave. Like, you've seen James Harden quietly ask out of 2 places in 2 years. We see this consistently. Bradley Beal is one of the better players in this league, and it just seems like his team is just kind of stuck. Why would you not trade him or try and do something? But whatever. Washington has a plan. It hasn't worked out well in the last 10, 15 years, but they have a plan, so I'm curious to sit back and watch and see.
Washington's plan is the same. They're treading water, just trying to keep their heads above water. And this is a free shot, really, at a guy who was the unicorn not long ago. And it's really, let's flip it to the Mavericks, because that's a more interesting angle here. What a shocking return for Kristaps Porzingis, considering what you gave up to get him from the Knicks and how you sold this as this is the next big two in Dallas, and this is the team that's going to propel us to the title. They just gave up. Gave up. Spencer Dinwiddie has not played well this year. He'll play better. Davis Bertans, Mike Wilbon just mentioned how bad the Wizards have been. He can't even get on the floor for them. He's been so bad. And that's who you got for Kristaps Porzingis. But one thing I will say is teams should be looking at the Mavericks cap sheet in 23 and 24 with a little fear, because this deal was about dumping money and opening up some flexibility, making it easier to get into the free agency market. The Mavs were going to dump money somewhere today. People thought maybe Tim Hardaway Jr., maybe Dwight Powell. Word started to circulate about 24 hours ago that Kristaps Porzingis was out there. But this is almost, I mean, look, the Mavs will tell you, we'll get something out of Dinwiddie. Bertans, you put shooting around Luka, he'll revive. He'll have moments. This is about getting off Kristaps Porzingis' contract.
Well, and the one thing that I will say about this Dallas Mavericks thing, Luka's so young. Luka is so young. You have so much time to sit down with him, have a communication, say, look, over the next 2 to 3 years while you're still under contract, we have to dump some salaries, and then we need to make this place very enticing for free agents, or at least open up room to bring in players. And you understand that. But that's what the difference is between when you look at the best player for the Dallas Mavericks is a young stud, and then an older player in Bradley Beal. He's not over the hill, or he's not past his prime, but he's at a spot now where you can't just tread water for 2 years and all of a sudden Bradley Beal's value is at 75% of what it was 2 years prior. That's the mistake you're making. Your team's not going anywhere. Your best player is not really having the impact that you want. Why not start the rebuild?
Right. Well, but I think for the Mavericks, this is about looking at, all right, Luka Doncic, where he's at. What can they do this summer? That's what it's going to be, because I know, Zach, you flip-flopped up, down, back and forth on where the Mavericks are in the West.
They keep roping me back in.
They keep lassoing you back in.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.